shoulders, knees, and toes, and I point to the area that I'm talking about.
That's really
see, I need to
good.
do that. My baby
That's
won,
real
so
good.
he walks away.
Be consistent. Be
Aw.
consistent.
Yeah,
So
he's my hair ain't done either, so.
No, hey, no rush. I just got to do the choir announcement.
Hold
What's
on.
going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake, B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast for the purpose. Our mission statement comes in the words of Dr. Martin King Jr., and that is, he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we created this podcast on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency, so we get to know each other, so we can love one another. We go live every Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once again, that may change. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so we may make an audible for this season. But case in point, this is the Sunday during these happy hours. You don't have to have a drink. You don't have to have anything, specific, but just come. This is somewhere we just have conversations of what's going on in our community and society. We can talk about some hot topics here and there, but we just try to make sense of what's going on. And we always do check-ins with one another. So, we got some folks that we haven't had, some people been busy. I know we be busy out here. I'll be busy too, a little bit. So let's do the temperature check. So how are you doing, Christian?
I'm great. Today is opening night, actually, at 8 p.m. for one of my shows that I'm in, and I'm so glad that this is over. This has been a very difficult show to do, but it's work. But I'm good. I'm just a little tired. Okay. How about you?
You said one of her shows. That means you've been working. Okay.
Yeah, okay. God is blessing.
Love it. I'm great. Tired, but I'm great. We have someone new here. We have Renita. Hello, Renita.
Hi.
How are we doing? How's your week been?
Oh, it's been horrible, but it's gonna get better.
Okay. I love the energy. I can relate. It ain't good. It ain't been horrible, but it's been a lot of twists and
mine's
turns.
just been horrible. My house flooded and everything.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
I don't know what.
How did it flood?
The next door neighbor. I live in a townhouse, and the maintenance didn't bother to call me, so I had to come into my house smelling like something. And I'm like, wait a minute, my stuff is moved. What's going on? And then I look under my sink. It's a big old hole. Yep.
Oh no, that's crazy.
Yep.
Well, I flooded my house before too.
I didn't do this. It's not my fault.
Well, just have a little bit of grace for them. Let's just say that.
And then I got court tomorrow.
What, like court for you or just like jury duty?
No, for this baby. His daddy don't want to, so I'm going to get custody. Yeah, the baby.
Okay. We can touch on we can touch on that off of here, on here, whatever you feel comfortable.
I don't care. Maybe you can help me, but I don't know because I was trying to move and he wants to dictate what I do, and I kind of like gave him that access, and I'm not happy about it because somebody could have told me that if I went for full custody, it was giving him permission to tell me that I can't leave the States.
Whew, that's about to be fun tomorrow. We'll be playing. Talk about the situation.
Yeah.
Ooh, sister girl Jess, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing good.
Love it.
How are you doing? How are you enjoying your new space?
The space is cool, being in a 1 bedroom, 1 bath. The first week, it ain't been bad, I would say about 10, 11 years ago, it had been a little bit more stressful, but we working everything out, keeping things a little bit more tidy. I think it's preparing us for our new home. It's just, when you have less space, you have to take care of more. But I love the view upstairs. Our neighbors, we've seen a few.
I see you've been having your camera out.
Yeah, just trying to make it out there.
Yeah, that's good. I thought that was good.
Take a few shots here and there, trying to make some memories. That's why I was like, just make the best of it while we're here. Hopefully we get to see a little bit more before we go. But time is flying by. It's already the 10th of September. So it's about to be almost a month out before we make that move, the real move.
Oh, wonderful.
Now we have pure hell with the movers, new movers, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now because we in a good space right now. You know, we in a good
Right,
space.
right. I was gonna say last thing I was gonna say, her talking about the flood reminded me of the video you posted a while back. It was a long time ago.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
know.
reminded me.
I know what you're talking about, and that's what I say. You know, people just be so quick to grab the phone. But
Yep.
once again, I've been in this situation. The last thing that was in my head when I was going through the flooding is like to grab a phone. My first thing is
right.
how do we take care of this now? But it's a different mindset. Everybody different.
Right.
Okay. And welcome in, Court. How are we doing? Court may be in the car, but she here though.
How did you know? I'm actually on the road right now, but I'm doing good.
Okay. Be safe. Be careful. And T, how are you?
Emotionally, I'm well. Physically, I'm feeling every bit of 40-something. But you know.
Well, I know you shared a bit with us earlier. You know, we'll be praying for healing for you. You know, we'll take.
Thank you.
But when I say I've been seeing T all over TikTok, I say I'll pop a little T go be in it.
The lies.
So it's good. And we have a little live. Oh my goodness, Jaya here. And I know they're doing well with the cheeks.
You know, we over here, we blessed and highly favored in the name of the Lord.
Love it.
And he broke his fever, so he happy now.
I didn't know he had a fever.
His season coming in, so sometimes he fussy, had a temperature for almost a week, but he broke that and now he's all over the place trying to walk and crawl at the same time.
There's something else I've been wondering. I don't know when y'all go on my live on YouTube, it say for whatever reason it's private. I don't know why it's been doing that recently. We didn't have to worry about it. But no, so something that I've been working, during the move, getting everything together. I'm glad this is the first setup we got for our Sunday lives. I've been trying to figure out how can I start doing more recordings because I don't have my background space chair, but this maybe can work. I'm gonna try to maybe prop this up a little bit most, but I don't have the kitchen and everything in. There's the kitchen right there, okay, but and the bedroom right there. But everything is just like boom. If you knock down that wall, you see the whole space. But it's really cool over here though. But if I can figure out if they have Wi-Fi on the 8th floor, I'm gonna try to do some more episodes up there. It's a good space. Once again, it's right where we have the gym. It's another community area, and then it's the balcony and everything that everybody can look over. But I know there's some folks that I'm trying to get some places where I can go and record. I'm trying to do some more face-to-face videos before we leave the Seattle area. But just finding a good spot because the spot that I used before where I interviewed Jesse, the makings of Jesse, that's his place, everything cool. We used it for one. I interviewed a woman by Alana that is running for governor here in Washington. But when I tell you, people kept coming in. When I said is the space open, I was like, hey, it's open for me just to slide in and use it. But they opened the whole space for the whole but for everyone, it's a business at the end of the day. So I ain't gonna knock it. But it was some people loud in there. And it could be a lot of editing with that, a whole lot of editing with that one. But it's gonna come across. And I have 2 people working on hopefully some new music for Everything Culture too. I have Sydney with the thanks of T. Jolie. Thank you, T. Put me in touch with Sydney so we can start working on something great. And I have another young woman by the name of Ari. Oh my God. Is it Ari Chanel? Ari actually came on the show. Great conversation, very wise. Oh my cool. She does a lot of remixes and covers on songs. So hopefully she can do a cover for the makings of you, perhaps the Gladys Knight version. Either way, I'm happy with both, and we have some good tunes. So I want to get hit so hard with the copyright strikes because because TikTok has integrated podcasts, but it's hard to sync a podcast because if you have any type of music, even if it's duty free, it still may not work on TikTok. And if it's a video that's longer than, let's say, I think either 60 or 90 minutes, it won't move over to TikTok as well. So I'm trying to really use that feature, but it hasn't been easy. And I haven't seen anybody else use it yet either. But I digress. And if y'all have any tips for that, please let me know.
Okay.
Yes, but other than that, the things that's going on right now, but I can't think of, too much. I was watching with because we got cable over here on YouTube TV. I really don't be into everybody's business like that. But the only thing I saw that it was very unique was about the actor that played on the 70s show. His sentencing for 30 years?
Oh yeah.
30 years. And was it Mila? Is it Mila or Mila? And oh my gosh. Basically his co-workers on the 70s show wrote him letters of recommendation to the court. And
Oh yeah, Mila and
what's his name? Ashton? Is it Ashton Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Christian, right there. 30 years to life. Damn. Thank you for including that life part. 30 years to life for the sexual assault of 2 women. Yeah. It's not like I think actually Christian shared a video, retweeted somebody else that it was Conan O'Brien that he said something, on a weird level on Conan O'Brien, and he kind of dropped a little something like, "Oh, they gonna catch you soon, they will be seeing you real soon." And it just show how in Hollywood, people would protect each other. That's a big thing.
That's it.
It's a lot of, how can I say, when I use the term weird, I always try to break down weird things that we don't understand, things that are abnormal, things that are not part of the quote unquote social norm. And 3 is now that the peers that you've been around, should they be held responsible for speaking up for them? For the letters to the court. Like, I don't know have y'all ever had to write a letter for anybody to the courthouse and try to be a positive recommendation for them in their life or in their case?
No.
I haven't.
I haven't had to write a letter, but I've definitely had to vouch for someone's character when they've been accused of stuff. Not in a written form, but I've had to testify and things of that nature, which is always an awkward situation because that person maybe as a child or in a certain environment through work, but you don't know that person in another situation, whether it be, in their dating life or I don't know what it may be, another job or their family situation. So I can only tell you what I know about them from my situation, my experience. And it's always weird because it's like perception is everything. So how do you really vouch for character when it comes to proven sexual assault? I don't know. It's weird.
No, that's perfect. Once again, shout out to Christian. Christian make my conversation so much easier at times because say everything that I was going to say, but
but the other side of that though is like, what if it's and I know it shouldn't matter, but just to make it relatable, what if it's your family that's been accused of something, which I have been in that exact same situation. And I was the first one to be like, my person would never blah, 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 blah. And then I saw the video camera and the tape and I was like, oh, that is my person doing exactly what I never thought they would do. Let me go ahead and shut up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, exactly what you mean. Hey, Lo, how are we doing? Oh, somebody coming back from somewhere special. Okay, Red. So I've written letters to almost the same situation. I had a peer, good friend. I can't deny being a good friend in my life. Poor decisions were made, but when those poor decisions become a little bit more constant, that's when it become a little problematic. But, wrote a letter of recommendation to the court, stating them that our relationship, our, I can't speak on their intent, but talk about their life, knowing them. And I have a reputation. I have a career. I have I think the best thing to say is reputation for myself. Something that I've created within my life, in my work in the court of law, working with juvenile offenders, working with families and things of that nature. It's like I work hard on, or just being genuine. I can't say work hard as being who I am, just making sure the plate is clean or the mirror is clean. And when I have friends or family that are going through something, even though they made a mistake, I want to speak up for them, helpful, especially if they have a good heart. But it's troubling because that same friend, I still love them. Still love them, and I still pray for them. But when they make that mistake again, so if people, like if I run for judge or anything of that nature, people may pull that up that I wrote a letter trying to exonerate a person. I've done 3 letters, actually, 3 to 4, actually, because I'm thinking over my whole lifetime, could they be used against me? Does that mean I have a poor judge of character? Even though I know, I look at it, I try to have grace for people, but I can't control everybody's actions. Only actions I can control are my own. Like, I can write a letter for any of y'all. I can trust that y'all come in here and I would tell my truth. But me telling my truth about someone, should that mean people should hold me, try to judge me just as harshly as they judging the other person? Does that make sense? Is that something that
it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense because it's from your. I think what people being, I think it because it's a celebrity and they are celebrities, people are blurring the lines. They're speaking from their relationship, and it's not necessarily just like Christian said. I don't know how you do when y'all at home, behind closed doors or what have you. I just know I can only speak from what I've seen, and that's what people. I don't think people realize it. They're speaking from what they've seen, not from the crime or what have you. Because no, I don't know you. I didn't think you was like that. But
Yeah.
How would I know?
Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you a question. I didn't read Mila and Ashton's letter, but I did read, what is this lady's name? Iggy Azalea's letter about Tory Lanez, which I know is another topic last week.
But it still relates.
Yeah. In her letter, she specifically asked for the judge to be lenient, right? So she wasn't just speaking on his character. She was talking about her experience with him in the studio. And then she asked for the judge to be lenient. So she requested something of the judge. I don't know if Mila's and Ashton's letter did the same thing, but I think if you're speaking on a character, because that's what it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be a character witness. It's supposed to be how that person was in your experience. But then if you're saying because of that, because that person makes good music and because he was so nice and he didn't sexually assault me, so you should let him out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to speak on characters, another thing to say because of that, don't let them do all those 30 years in prison,
30 years to life. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Speaking of, I'm sorry, y'all, but speaking of Tory Lanez, do you know that he was offered 4 years before this on the plea deal and he didn't take it?
Ain't surprised. I'm not surprised. That whole situation right there, I think pride got a lot of in his way. Pride and ego, whole lot. Because us being on, I don't even be looking for stuff, but when stuff come across my way, I pay attention. But I remember when all that happened, the night of, the week of, and I remember him posting something and deleting it. I think one thing I tell people all the time, I know he shot her and he know he shot her. Do I think it was an intention? Like, put it this way, a lot of people don't understand or have training about gun safety. When you point your gun, no matter, don't play like that. Don't ever play like that. Unloaded, loaded, whatever the case may be. Well, you're being trained, when you point a gun at something, you have intention to destroy or kill, terminate it, okay? That's the only reason you should do that. And I know he may have been with the whole argument, whatever the case may be, just shooting at the pinky toe. He may have been trying to shoot at the ground to get people to stop arguing, whatever the case may be. But I know that was the point. But it happened, and simple as that. And I know he came out and apologized to her directly initially, then he deleted that apology. Stand on your two, your 2 toes, your 10 toes, your 10 toes, your 2 feet, man. But it's one of those things where now he has dug that hole so deep, he's not going to get him. He don't even want to get out of it. You know, it's there now. He go keep that going until the end of it, because he's going to have to. If he would have took the plea deal, it would have been like more of a cop out, and if he would have been looking bad in front of his homeboys, his fans, than anything else. But I'm not surprised about that. I think he really thought he wasn't going to go to jail. But I may be wrong. But all this we're doing right here, that's just a little gossip right there. It's just what can we do to make things better. For instance, when it comes down to my situations, what I had my peers, even when going to court for my peers, if you ever been in the courthouse, my first time going to court was, where it's 17, 18 years old. I think I shared with some of y'all about my good friends. Once again, being young, all my life I was told by the men in the family, the men in our community, you go lose some friends when you graduate from high school. That's the way it goes for Black men. You got some friends that's gonna go to jail. You're gonna have some friends that's going to end up getting killed. And I lost 3 of my friends from my year of my graduation, like this summer, like all like 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 before I went to college. Changed a lot of our behaviors and mindsets. Hearing it is one thing, but actually experiencing is crazy. And that's all that I keep thinking is like, the wisdom of the people who care about me and how God blesses us is amazing. It's one of those things where it could have been me. You feel me? I could have been caught up in every single one of those situations. But I shared how I told y'all about the night of the house party, right? And the whole Macy's and things.
I've never heard that story.
Okay.
Well, I say I don't remember.
Oh well, you knew, Renita. So, quickly, senior in high school, I had some, I have my group of friends. I had a couple from my high school, my main homeboys from the other high school across town. We're throwing a house party at my crib. No adults. Everything you can ask for is there at the high school. Whatever you want was there. Okay, let me just put it that way. Everybody having a good time. So one of my partners had a full ride scholarship to a pretty prestigious college in Texas. Okay. I'm talking about full ride. He come in there, they have his name in the bleachers, his name in the locker room. And I'm not just saying like his name and other people's names, like his name's in the rafters, his number he's gonna get. Like he was set. Okay. He could have been on his way to the NFL, honestly. That's how good he was. Grew up dirt poor, but his mother, sister was in the church every Sunday. His brother was in a lot of trouble. His brother was locked up the year before for stealing a woman's car one morning and going on a high-speed chase. Okay. And it went to that point where that night, another homeboy, he played football too, cool, but I had a bunch of my homeboys there. Once again, we having a good time. We got Madden in one room. We got television. We got the cheerleaders and the Brigadettes in the room. Like we had, everything. We had Like, we having a good time. But one of my partners, it's always that one that come in and, I knew he was always up to no good to say it in that way. Sorry for that siren. I do not know what's going on. But he came in, he is who he is. That's how I took it. Every time you see him, he's going to try to stir up something. And I saw him, he was in my crib. I'm like, hey, everybody, hey, keep an eye on him. Like, hey, man, why you invite him over here, man? Oh, he cool. You know how I go. He cool. I'm like, okay, that's your partner. We all have to roll on him, okay? But it went to that point where he wasn't want to be there long. Then we just hear this idea or this, I can't say this dumbass idea. Let me be clear on that. That, oh man, let's rob the pizza man. What? Like, why is that even in your head to do that? Me, I'm living in a middle class black. My whole street is black. And guess what that means? We all know each other. And I'm like, do you know if something happened around here, they'll look straight at this house? We on a dead end. Everybody in my neighborhood, something, if the police happen around the corner, they go like, well, there's a lot of kids at them house. It's so-and-so house down the street. They will come right here. Are you thinking this even through? Then why did you even want to rob the pizza man? What, the pizza man ain't gonna have nothing. It's so many different things, but you just want to do some shit. Trouble go find trouble. But we're like, nah. And we're like, you gotta go. It wasn't just me. That's why I keep saying we. When I said it, it was one of those things you see like in teenage films and movies and all that. And decisions are made, and that's exactly what it was. It was like, hey, y'all gotta go. We good. Y'all gotta go. And I remember it was my partner that played football. That was, the one that had a full ride. He was like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and do it. And this thing like, bruh, you about to, your life is about to change for the better. Like, but he's one of those headstrong guys. You go do it. The other one, it was another one. He didn't want to go. He was mighty hesitant. Okay. He was trying to play mad. Oh, I'll be down there in a second. And they're like, come on, let's go. He didn't want to go though. But peer pressure is a motherfucker. He ended up leaving. And we told him, you ain't got to go. You can chill with, what you need here. You got it. And he like, nah, I just about to kick with them a little bit and I'll be back. Okay. Do your thing. So the night went on. Whatever happens. We didn't hear nothing from him. Everything dissipated. This is like a Saturday night. Sunday go by. Cool. But Monday, I go to school. I get off my part-time. Matter of fact, I'm going to school. No, I got off of school and I came home to get dressed to go to my part-time job at Eckert's or CVS, whatever I was at the time. I think it was CVS. And my homeboy called me on the house phone. We didn't have cell phones at that time, y'all. So that's the date where we're at. We had cell phones, but they were not on. Let's just say that. We just used them for like directories, keep numbers in and stuff. But I get a call from my boy G-Jack, and he like, man, turn on the TV, man. And I'm like, what do you mean? He like, turn on TV, put it on the news. And right there, we saw the dude that came over to the party with the trouble, and my homeboy that was supposed to go to, go to college and play on the news for attempting to rob a woman and two white women. And I'm from East Texas. That is like, oh, hell no. Okay. So trying to rob these two white women, and they got busted. It was in front of I think it was a Foley's, but once again, y'all don't know what a Foley's are, but they're in front of a Macy's, just say that. So in front of a Macy's, and they got them, and they're looking for a third party. Okay. So they got two, and they're looking for another one. We already knew who that other one is. And it was one of those things like, damn, seeing one of your main partners on the front, like not on the newspaper, on the news for doing something. They didn't get the pizza man, but they were going to do something. That's the thing about it. And that woman, those two women end up being a police officer, mother and sister in East Texas. Okay. So it was hard. And maybe like after 3 weeks, people talking. And it's crazy how they end up getting my other homeboy too. You know, he ended up turning himself in because they was go find him sooner or later. And the sad thing about it, it was 4 people that was involved. Can anyone guess who the 4th person was? I'll give you a hint. It was not one of my homeboys. Could have been one of my homeboys, but they wouldn't go do nothing to him if he got caught anyway. It was a white kid, a white boy. It also played on teams
Should've known.
that had plenty of money, very prestigious. You know, they weren't even looking for him. Oh, he wasn't even brought up, but all the black boys were caught up. So, and what happened basically, they, you know, when they were doing a snatch and grab purse, push them down. No weapons involved, but since that push was involved, you know, they used it as aggravated assault. Okay, aggravated robbery, put it that way. And first charge for all of them. I remember being in the courtroom and just hearing what do you call? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. I'm missing everything. The prosecution. Oh my God. The prosecution was good. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn. You know, he even on my homeboy, they really didn't do nothing but just being there and running. He was like crying. His whole family was sad. We were sad, but man, they were like, man, he said, don't be falling for them crocodile tears. He wasn't crying when he was out to hit a lick. Never forget them words. Those get there with a t-shirt on it. Y'all ain't gonna get it. But when that white man said that, I like, he was out there to hit a lick though. So with that, all those being said, but when they were trying to charge these 3, but they'll charge them separately. But especially one of my home that he was just there, bad situation, knowing just look, he still made a poor choice. But they wanted to give that boy 20 years. 20 years.
Dang. Woo.
Oh, and man, you see Sister Girl just you like his sister. His sister just hollered out. They had to remove her from the court, you know, all this stuff. And it was like just hanging around some dumbass. You really didn't want to let me in. Being that age of 17, and we already knew he did not want to be there. He did not want to do this. But he wasn't being a leader. And that's when I be telling y'all and telling my youth and the mentees, don't ever be a follower. They can get you into that. And like one of those, like the one that came up with it, man, he's been in prison more than he's been a free man in his life. Because he get out, go back, get out, go back. He's gonna be in there for a little bit longer now. And then I got my other homeboy that he just like, the one I wrote letters with my man too, but one he just, things life just keep hitting hard and he just keep making these choices and you know, it just get worse and worse. And it's like one of those situations like, you know, you see the good in him, you know, and you just like, but you can't control what he's doing. You know, you're not around him all the time, you know. So what can you do as a friend? And as being a friend and just a black man, and this is something I had with my other peers that was in the same spaces that I was at this time. You know, what could we continue to do other than pray for them? You know, because we've written letters, you know, we keep in touch with them. They get out, you know, they go hang with the same dudes again. And it was like, man, that ain't gonna be the best for you. But we can't be around them circles, man, because we know we got things to lose. You know, you can say what you want to say, but it's how we consistently like hold each other accountable. And we've been trying to do that since we were teenagers. And now we in our mid to late 30s now. You know, does it make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. Once again, it's one thing that we consistently have to see and go through. And even when I worked as a caseworker, I think I talked about it in my CPS stories. I had several of my kids that's been in court, you know, and I can go and speak highly of them, be vouched for them because they need that because they haven't had that in life. They may not have a father or a mother step up for them, but it hurts and it hurts your reputation. I'm glad we have some good judges that recognize that you're doing it from a good reason. They need someone, but some people try to hold you, even being friends with someone else, that make those type of poor decisions. You know, but you're gonna have people that's how life works. everybody around you not going to be a perfect. Either it's going to be your parents, your siblings, your cousins. If you want to continue having friends, it's going to have some hiccups along the way.
Facts. I
Makes
agree
sense.
with that. Definitely agree with that.
Okay, but I see that. But let me check on. But we're about to hop off YouTube. Do y'all have anything to shout out or express or share to anybody?
Well, I'm new here, but I like it so far.
Oh. we chilling. I know I got to run today. Usually we'll be on a little bit longer, but thank you for being new here and coming on. But we're about to hop on YouTube, hop off YouTube. So YouTube, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next Sunday, every Sunday. Well, for the moment, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But if y'all have any questions or updates or changes for us, let us know. We're keeping the work going. We're our goal is to have a new episode out by this Wednesday. Okay, that's the goal. So we got work, but it's been very busy at work. But we ain't even worry about all that. But we want to say we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll chop it up with y'all later.